Do you want a sexy looking Necron army, but you are new to painting or not prepared to put in the hours? No problem. Here is a fast and easy way to make your Necrons look great. I'm Alex, today I'm painting some Necrons. Here I have a Necron warrior I prepared earlier. I have assembled it, glued some sand to the base and then primed it black. If you want advice on assembling and priming miniatures, there are a lot of good videos here on YouTube on those subjects. I'm starting by giving it a reddish brown base coat. I use heavy sienna from Vallejo, but any dark red brown will do really. Mournfang brown from Citadel, for example. This will be our base for the rusted metallic finish. Now, I almost only use paint from Vallejo, simply because I like the viscosity and the bottles. If you don't, that's fine. You should use the ones you like. Moving on, we put down the brush and bring forth the cleaning supplies. We are looking for a sponge. One of these regular household cleaning sponges will do nicely. I used the paint from Vallejo's effect series called Rust. Simple enough. Most miniature paint brands have rust effect paint. You could, for example, use Ryza Rust from Citadel. If you don't have a rust effect paint, orange color will do nicely, as long as it's matte and bright. We want contrast. Since I couldn't find my tweezers, I just used my fingers to hold the sponge. It worked well. We want contrast between the dark brown red and the bright orange, but also contrast between the matte rust effect and the shiny metal parts we will add next. For that reason, I chose a bright silver color for the next step, as it's both shiny and very bright. We paint the weapon, the Gauss Flayer, whatever that is, some kind of magnetic flaying device. Neat. Anyway, we paint the weapon with silver. Using the same technique as we did with the rust, we apply the silver with the sponge. This time we try to focus on the edges, but it really doesn't matter that much. The random patterns are what we are looking for. I then go in with a brush here really quickly just to make some little more controlled details. This is absolutely optional. I will take pictures of this model later and I want it to look nice. We paint the eyes and the energy nodes white. I will wash this with shade later, but I want it there before that anyway. We will probably have to fix some of it after shading, but that's fine. I use blue for the cables and for the base. I chose blue because I wanted a second color for our little metal thingies, and blue is the opposite color from orange on a color wheel, which means they will look great together. And choosing a dark blue like this will make our bright orange pop very nicely. If you don't know anything about color theory, that's alright, but there are some very good videos on that subject here on YouTube, and it might help you a lot to know the basics. Now it's time for a wash with Nuln oil. We cover the whole weapon because we want that evenly toned, but with the body we focus on the deepest recesses. We just want a little more depth and color variation. And we go away to do whatever we do when we're waiting for paint to dry. The model is dry, so it's time to fill in the white parts again, just to make them a little more brighter. We use a lighter blue for the cables. We dry brush that same blue color on the base. And now it's time for the green glowing effects on the weapon and the eyes. I use fluorescent green. Some dark grey for the other cable here, and then some black on the base rim, and the model is done.